Welcome back once again, guys, to our first night of matches here at the second season of the ESL ESEA Pro League. My name is Blue. Joining me this evening is Moses, and our second match here is going to be getting started in just a few moments. It's going to be compLexity Gaming, who we just saw take a 16-14 victory over Enemy, and then I'll be facing off in CLG's first match here in the Pro League. We already talked about compLexity in our last match, so Moses, tell us a little bit about CLG. Again, obviously one of the top North American teams, so it doesn't need too much of an introduction, but what's your retrospective on them coming into this match?
I mean, they were playing really well for a stretch of time, and I think they're in a rough patch right now. They've been dropping matches left and right. I think it's been a while, actually. I think even FNS commented on it when the last time they won a best of 3 was, but it's been quite a bit. So I mean, it's just they're a team that has these wild up and down swings. Ever since they switched to Cutler as their in-game leader, they've looked like they've been on the rise. They kind of solidified themselves as the second best team in North America behind Cloud9. And then just recently, with the way the Liquid's been playing, it's all kind of thrown up in the air once again. I mean, obviously, we have to see Liquid play at a tournament, but
the DreamHack qualifier is coming up in a few weeks. I'm sure will be the tell of that one to see which the North American teams is going to be coming out on top for the cream of the crop there. But it does look like, guys, we are getting started with this match here, at least for the knife round. So once again, for those of you that are just joining us, it's CLG Gaming taking on compLexity here. Our second match for the ESL ESEA Pro League. It's going to be on Overpass, and we can still talk a little bit here while the knife round is going on, of course. I think that overall this match is going to be a little bit troublesome for compLexity, considering they're still kind of getting that gel together as a team potentially. And again, Overpass is one of those maps where potentially when you just look at North American teams in general, because of, at least in recent months, the volatility of how long they tend to be together, they tend to have problems getting themselves to a point where they can actually get their strategies together on this map. And I mean, you look at the record for compLexity, it hasn't looked all that good on this map so far, so I think they might have a little bit of problems here, but they did manage to win the knife round, so at the very least look at the start off on CT side.
Well, I mean, if you look at their record in the last match, they didn't look so hot. I mean, screw the record on this map. It was just like, that was ugly. That their defense was just atrocious. Even their T side at times was just so reliant on Roka just soloing into that B bomb site. So I think this is a very dangerous match where they might just get stomped here.
So we go back into it here now, and the first pistol round is going to get started here in our first half. The push coming out from CLG. We'll see exactly how quick things are going to play out for these guys, but they do move in very, very quietly here to take the B site, and for some reason, compLexity caught with their pants down, running over to the A site. They find 2. Finally, Valent turns around and picks up 1, but exactly as you said, why the hell were they leaving the site?
Like, I don't understand. He's just like running around like there's no care in the world, as if nothing's even possible. So, I mean, there's some free entries onto the site. Tarek's in the pit, and he's going to goosh 1. He gets tagged in return pretty heavily, but now the entries come out. This retake is on. It's a 3-on-3, but they've a lot of progress to go. Valens does have a kit, and he's entering into the site. He jumps over. He gets a nice kill on a Cutler, but there's Cutler behind the pillar, making something happen. It's all onto Hayes, and he's going to get a little bit smoked off. That's the bomb, so he's got to find this planter. He's got to rush through. He's got to be careful. He finds 1, but it's the wrong one. Sanks is going to win it, and I do not know how compLexity pulls that out.
So there's Sanks, of course, coming up big, not only defusing the bomb, but able to pick up 3 kills in the process of that pistol round there. So went from an absolutely horrible round for compLexity to an absolutely horrible round for CLG, as that got turned completely 180 degrees, and they're somehow able to steal that round away at the beginning, despite the abysmal start there with everybody for some reason leaving the site to rotate to A.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But with the plant down, I mean, you can see no real investment for CLG. They do upgrade some pistols, but just 1 flashbang on a Tarek, so they're going to try and get a plant down. And that's about all they can hope for. They're going to go for a 3rd round buy with AK-47s.
So Cutler here going to move out. He does, unfortunately, not find Sanks, and FNS is going to get the response that was able to take him down very quickly, but they spot all these players now moving over towards long A, so they are going to be able to quickly stop that, and I guess we'll see the change up here from CLG because they've been spotted out too. They'll either take it a lot slower or work for a little bit more of a dynamic play as they work their way inside of the bathrooms and over towards short A here as well. That'll be JDM scouting that out, but because they've left it open this entire time, they've got to be a little bit more careful here too. The exact reason we're seeing Sempus push forward now is there could be a lot of players in these positions. They don't want to take a chance on running into them and losing an excess amount of players, especially again with them still being at the very big gun disadvantage, but they do actually decide just to say screw it on the A push, and they'll go all the way back down inside the tunnels and try to work it towards B instead.
Yeah, and there are 2 players here from compLexity, Valens and Roka, just kind of manning the pit, playing a little bit of a retake, but without armor, they should be able to mow some players down very, very easily as they enter the bomb site. Valens even has a grenade. If they do happen to get into the bomb site, that can do a lot of damage and even prevent the plant. So there have to be some nice entries onto this bomb site. It's Tarek leading the way. He's going to swing wide. I don't even think they've seen them cross quite yet. Now they know they're in the site. 3 players for compLexity here. Here's a nice nade. Tarek's down so low, but it doesn't kill him, so they do get the plant. That's all they wanted. That's a victory for CLG.
And there's automatic there once again, finding another kill over here onto Hayes. He's trying to push up and looking for more, but now it's just him and one more teammate here trying to find JDM. He's going to succeed in doing so there with Semphis getting the calls in on positions. FNS is the last one that gets spotted. And again, a last-minute retake there comes in at the hands of compLexity. Still plenty of time left for this defuse, so they will steal away that second round at the end. But heavy losses coming in with 3 players ending up going down. They're going to be able to re-scavenge their guns here, and no saves from CLG, obviously, as they're all going to get eliminated. But still, with 3 players going down, with the investment we saw from compLexity, it's going to be a pretty big loss coming out of that second round.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, look at this buy, and even JDM can get an AWP with light armor, so that could be a route that he's deciding it right now, hasn't quite chosen what he wants to do yet, but look at these nades as well. So JDM does get that AWP, but full nade kits for everyone on CLG, four Molotovs as well, 4 smokes. I mean, this is a huge buy.
They're going to go right for it here as they push their way up. We'll take a look at where exactly the push will come from. It'll split itself up for now as we've got the players number 6 and 8. That's Tarek and Cutler, both going to work their way over and try to get towards water and then probably transition that to construction from there. More players working in the tunnel as well, but the bomb itself is actually still out in the open. You can see here that JDM is going to be looking for a push to come over from short A or somewhere in that angle and hopefully catch them off guard, and then he'll be the player that most likely falls back and regroups with them. More players looking towards short A too, going up through the stairs right now and going over to check Park at this point, but for the time being, not going to spot themselves out too early, but they're getting ready for this boost, and I'm sure they should be able to hear Valens jumping around. So that boost that's happening over here in water, probably getting slowed down a little bit because of that, because they don't want to boost right into his face and end up getting taken down because of that.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. So JDM does rotate back eventually, picks up the bomb. And it's going to be interesting to see where FNS and Hayes decide to go. They're going to have to meet up with their teammates, come out short. The defense is a little bit weak. Once again, Valen's playing a little bit of a retake. Roka playing over at the Toxic Barrels, but no pressure put on anywhere from CLG. They did push up those stairs and clear out bathrooms, and here comes this hit onto the B-bomb site.
Now they're going to roll in here. Valen's going for the blind fire there with the M4 now, trying to see if he can find anybody out, but nobody coming in through construction as of yet. Most of them coming in through a monster. FNS holding the flank right now in case anybody comes in through a connector, but Valens is going to get found out by Hayes. Was able to see him there just over by the poles. He's hung in that one. The plant coming up from Hayes, almost completely uncontested here too, as we see compLexity trying to find their way in here for a retake, but it's just not panning out at all. Cutler finding one here too. Clears out the pit. Now they have no control of the site whatsoever, and there's JDM with the op doing some work here. Hayes getting lit heavily. He's going to find Semphis before he finally gets dropped by Sanks, but it only leaves Sanks is the last player alive here. Still fragging though as he picks up one, gets the location of Tarek, but Tarek knows where he is now, so he gets him through the wood panels there, takes him down with a headshot, and CLG finally steal away around here on round number 3.
Yeah, really good execution. Once they get that first kill and they take that bomb site, I mean, you could kind of see it. Valens and Roka were playing in positions where they couldn't really assist each other, so that first kill forces Roka to play so passively in the water pit and wait for rotations, but either way, compLexity, I mean, once they get the bomb planted, it's coordinated aggression into water. They overtake that before the rotations can really come in. And now they force, because of the damage they did on that second round, they force an immediate save out of compLexity, some upgraded P250s and 5.7s, but that's all CLL has to work with.
And Semphis again, going to be jump peeking over here by the flower box today long, trying to see if he can catch anybody out here, but won't be finding them initially and moves back now that he hears that flash. Going to take a safe position over by the corner and wait for that push to come out from CLG. The rest of the roster pretty spread out here too. One inside birthday party. JDM looking for that aggression inside of the bathrooms instead. One more inside of the tunnels as well, trying to see if anybody comes inside. He might find somebody in a second as Roka's going to push for it. Completely off angle to FNS though, so he's going to get a free kill essentially there. And Hayes actually, Semphis playing the ninja role there, sneaks around Hayes by the flower pot and is able to take him down. So there's another kill scored by compLexity. They get the response of the earlier one scored over on Roka. But now as well here, they have to some degree revealed their intentions. But with the kills happening in such separate locations, it actually should mask the illusion as to what's really happening, which is this push coming down here in Valens. Oh my goodness, Valens hasn't made a sound. He snuck through. He's inside the smoke, and the smoke should still have a decent amount of time to go. Moves out, trying to get it, but I think the planting box still isn't the best there, so
he's my first thought as well.
So FNS is going to be able to take him down, and that's not going to stop the plant from coming out. And now we see the CTs trying to move in. Still a 3-on-3. Cutler, JDM, and Tarek are alive for these players, but Cutler lit heavily, but he's kind of out of Dodge's way for now, and overall the setup here from CLG looking very good, but Sanks finds the way in, able to pick up one as he eliminates Tarek. They're working their way in here, and CLG, nice passive play for the time being, but now they're going to move it on to JDM. Cutler, though, using this opportunity to flank up onto them, and JDM overexposes, can't get the kill, but he actually still comes out on top with 1 HP, and they've wasted so much time at this point that they're going to win this round. A little bit careful here on Cutler and JDM. Cutler makes it out with 1 HP, but unfortunately, JDM, his teammate, is going to be a little bit too close to the explosion there, so he's going to go down, but still, CLG Gaming come out on top of the round, and they'll tie things up now.
I mean, this is compLexity's eco rounds are doing some damage. And both these matches now, they almost look better than their gun rounds. But that time with 4 kills, and even Cutler had to scramble to save that AWP there at the end. Either way, another solid buy out of CLG. in this round. And not a great one out of complexity, but I mean, this is the first real gun round we're going to see. That third round kind of had some FAMAs, some light nades, some SMGs, so we're going to see how this plays out. You can see that complexity is getting aggressive over towards bathrooms early on, pushing up a little bit, trying to find some information, do some early damage before falling back. And this time, CLG is going to go right at him. 3 players heading out towards long A.
They'll work themselves over there right now, trying to see if Automatic can catch anything there. Once again, just playing the default position, but overall beyond this, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Valen's trying to see if he can catch anybody that could potentially be over outside connector and water right now too, but the action is definitely going to be happening towards the A side, as we had already mentioned here. CLG, FNS just trying to make some noise back over there and hopefully catch a couple of those players off guard, but won't be happening as of yet. No damage scored onto either of them. Now CLG, they're going to make the move over here, and a little bit of trouble working their way through long. Hayes just taking it nice and slow. He's got to be careful of Automatic. Perfectly timed smoke, though, but it's actually a little bit to the right here, and he is going to be able to sneak through off of that, but the smoke ends up working out, as Automatic's going to be able to find the frag. JDM gets the response earlier on, though, as he's also able to take down Sanks. Well, apologies, he's able to take down Hayes there, so now we see JDM picking up a second one there too, taking down Sempus, and Cutler moving in too, but that Molly's still blocking him off too. The smoke's going to fade though, and that opens the wayside, so now Cutler, he can pick up another kill going over onto Automatic. They've got the site control. Plant's going to come out here in just a moment. It'll be Valens and Roka trying to go for a retake, but again, the odds not looking too good, especially since Valens pushes in a little bit too early and doesn't really get a whole lot of intel out of that play either.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. The Molotov actually hit Valens. Roka's going to win that duel. Peeks up, can't win the second one, so he's forced to slow things down. 1-on-3, and Nate comes out, doesn't get any kills. He might just want to think about saving at this point. That clock's dwindled. It's ticking for quite some time now, so Roka pushing up the bank stairs. Not going to be able to find anything, and he's just going to run away, not even expose himself to any kind of gunfire. But a nice win from CLG. Hayes gets eliminated over towards long, but Cutler had a really, really nice sequence with his nades there to take that A bomb site all on his own. And a nice entry into the site opens things up for everyone. So third round for CLG. Immediately, once again, complexity's money gets reset.
And with that reset coming out here once again now, we see that complexity not really going to be able to, with the exception of Roka, go for anything significant here in this round. CLG still sitting at a very, very strong buy, of course, and with them saving as many players as they were able to keep going there, still going to help to build up the money a little bit more, at least as far as the T side is concerned. But a couple players were still sitting at a point where they could go for their rebuys. Of course, Roka still able to get everything he needs, of course, because he had saved the M4, but beyond that, really nothing else is going to be gained here. Sanks and Sempus go for the $500 pistol upgrade, but Automatic's the only other player that's going to buy anything as he goes for a P250. But pushing through, Roka finds the opener, and they're taking up very aggressive positions here too, pushing over towards the fountain. Automatic also positioned outside of playground, so as far as CLG is concerned, they're not going to go anywhere without a fight anytime soon.
Yeah, this is terrible. Once again, these Zika rounds, JDM and Hayes both pick one off. They even things up, but there's so much pressure up towards this fountain. You got to be very careful. Sanks is right against the wall. There's also Automatic in the corner. He gets pop flash though. Nicely done from Hayes. Got to clear behind him. He checks, but he gets eliminated. And still, Tarek is so far away, not being involved in the action whatsoever, not able to help his teammates out. JDM is all on his own, and he gets the kill. He does get dinked, but now he's got to meet up with Tarek. They've got to come up with a game plan, because Semphis has an AK-47, and JDM's basically a free kill at this point. 40 seconds left on the clock.
And we'll see Semphis here trying to hold things off, not going to be able to catch Tarek, and that'll put a very, very quick end of the round, of course, with CLG once again coming out on top and taking a pretty big advantage here in this round. But now with that save coming off here at the hands of complexity, going to be able to resume their buys pretty quickly and hopefully stand a better chance against the CLG offense at this point now with the big guns in their way.
Yeah, the question's going to be where Semphis is going to go with this AWP. Looks like he wants to go out towards long. And he's going to do it solo as well, so he's just going to stay back by the raised flowers and just see what he can... Nope, he's going to continue to push. No, he's just going to get on top of it. So it doesn't really matter because the entire CLG lineup is geared over towards this B bomb site. Looks very, very quick. Tarek, they're just going to push up catwalk right through the smoke over towards Sand. And drops the head off of Valens. The players coming through. Roka's on top of the toxic bosses. He's hidden by a smoke, but... they need to find these guys. Cutler's not even going to check anything. He's just going to go for the plant. Is anyone covering him? Yes, he does. Automatic trying to spray his way to the bomb site. He's got to drop into water and wait for his teammates to arrive.
Now Automatic again, looking to see if he can catch anybody. Still humping over towards the bomb, but it's not going to happen. Hayes finding another one here too. Finding Roka as he tries to overexpose himself, working over under the tracks and into the canal, but not going to work out here. And now even Automatic tries to push far out into the open though, but it seems that unfortunately for them, Roka did not get the info as to just how many players from CLG were sitting here in canals at the moment. Nonetheless, those Sanks still playing from within inside the pit himself, manages to steal away one more, but that seems like it might be all they managed to get. Semphis grabbing one more kill, but the timer way too far gone, so he's got to sit back now, catch anybody that he can can on the exit, which isn't going to be anybody else. One player does die to the explosion, I believe, but beyond that, still, we're looking at JDM and FNS getting away with this round, and it'll be close, but I think Semphis is just going to be able to escape his fate there, as we'll see FNS not being able to find Semphis in time.
Yeah, no surprise here. They're going to force buy behind this. Semphis drops a gun over and picks up some light armor with that AWP, but they're going to have three FAMASes, and an M4 behind that op. So no, one kit on automatic as he picks it up right at the end, but pretty light on utility. So once again, CLG, they've got to expect this to be coming, but they have a huge advantage. And once again, setting up in this default, JDM watching for any pushes over towards the fountain. Two players taking short together. They're going up against that FAMAS. Tarek wins the initial battle against Valence. He's brought very, very low, and there's an automatic pushed up. He gets traded off. Cutler, in the meanwhile, has found one. So very, very quickly, 4-on-2 for CLG.
Sanks again push forward here as well, trying to see if he can catch anybody out. If he moves over towards the stairs, he might have a good chance in a battle, but we'll see FNS trying to push up there a little bit, and Sanks' attention has been diverted to this, so he might be able to catch this push coming a little bit, but unfortunately for him, the rest of the team definitely not on their ways over to the site at this point. Actually, falling back is going to be JDM with the bomb. I think at this point, really just trying to catch in case there's a wide flank attempt coming out from somebody from complexity, but it's not really the case for now, and complexity just taking their time just to avoid any unnecessary kills. And there's Roka moving in. He catches one, finds the bomb carrier, but unfortunately only gets a 1-for-1 trade, and that leaves his only teammate still left through Sanks in a 1-on-3 scenario, which, again, with the limited intel he has at this point, and especially with how much time he's giving CLG, there's going to be a very minimal chance for him to clutch that out. So more than likely looking at him just taking up an exit position and looking to find those frags and save that M4 for the next round.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do here. And in that kind of a situation, I mean, I'd like to see those last remaining players kind of group up and just gamble together and, you know, see if you can hold a bomb site 2-on-4 or just, you know, save your guns after that if they don't go to your site. So either way, those, no matter what bomb site CLG had chosen, they would have been in a 4-on-1, which is pretty advantageous to them. But either way, this is 6 straight rounds for CLG. The economy for complexity is in shambles. They do have the full losing bonus, but next round, they're going to have to save here.
Another thing to keep in mind here, too, is the side advantage here that complexity should have going into this, and with us seeing this monster streak, we just can't let complexity continue to drop these rounds. They've got to try to keep things close and try to string together a couple more of these rounds, otherwise we'll be looking at CLG having an enormous advantage coming out of the half on what is arguably the lesser advantage side, and that's going to look even worse for when complexity switch up that side and go on where it could potentially be harder for them to work with.
Oh, well, I say they have to save, and of course, Semphis calls a force pipe, so they're fully bought out. Once again,
now back to the old school.
Yeah, 5 rifles with that losing bonus, but once again, only 1 kit, very light nades, so the big thing they're going to have to do is manage some early aggression. They don't have the utility to really slow it down, so they have to win some initial battles, and luckily CLG playing this a little bit slower. This is just their default, 2 players towards stairs, 2 players taking short very, very quickly. But there's not a lot of tools that complexity has to run the clock down.
And complexity again here, just keeping it nice and safe for now. Sanks did push forward a little bit, but he's a little cautious of something coming out towards him from long. There's an attempt from CLG to push forward and get info on what's inside bathroom, but beyond that, they don't actually press forward. So Sanks not going to have that killer flank he was looking for. There might be a false sense of security from CLG coming up from connector, but I imagine still with all the time that's been given in the very wide area that complexity could still be hiding out at, they'll still have somebody watching out for that. Valen's jumping over. He actually, I don't believe he catches anything from that jump over too, so once again, the all clear is probably going to get called out there from complexity's sake. Now the push is on though, and they've got to get in the way to defend this, otherwise CLG are going to move in here, and the flash is so detrimental now. Complexity can't see anything, and they're moving in, but Roka going to be right in the way, finding one, looking for a second here, and this will hold it back for now. He's dropped to 12 HP and jumps up, tries to go over there and surf, but not going to work out too well. Hazel will get the trade and brings it down once again. But Valens, along with Automatic, still over here on the site at this point. Valens is going to be able to drop Hayes down as they push themselves up onto the site, bringing it into a 3-on-4, but FNS finds the trade again. Now we're back into a 3-on-3, and Automatic hiding in the corner, but FNS pushes forward. He finds one. Automatic close, though. He's able to take that trade once again as we continue to remain close in this matchup at 2-on-2. Cutler goes for the slow peek, and Automatic can't adjust the spray in time, so now they're a man up here, and Sanks, unfortunately, still way up in heaven. The odds of him clutching this out just go lower and lower, and we'll probably be looking at CLG coming out on top once again with a 7-2 scoreline.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to go for it. There is a kit dropped somewhere in the bomb site or in the vicinity of it, but still not a lot of time to play with. Going to try and jump over, but he stops it short. Can't even take...
Unfortunately, that play happens a little bit too slowly there, as he also, in addition, of course, having the difficulty finishing off that one player, wasn't really able to catch the location of the second one, so makes it a lot more difficult, of course, for it to come out on top for him, and because he was already committed to the site, there was really no option for a retreat anyway. So he's going to get taken down there, and once again, CLG come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's so unfortunate because Sanks, I mean, you had that play correctly. He pushed up in the bathrooms. He had so much intel. They had 4 players at the B bomb site. If you can't defend that site with 4 people, like there's really not much you can do in this map. So, I mean, that's just kind of atrocious from compLexity, not hitting their shot. Nicely done from CLG.
And pushing up here is going to be Sanks along with some more of his teammates. Automatic actually going to find the opener, and it catches CLG completely off guard here. Hayes tries to hold the angle, and he succeeds in doing so. He's going to be able to take down Sanks, and this, regardless though, he's going to push CLG back closer to their spawn now. They're going to be able to branch out, of course, because we don't see a whole full push coming out from compLexity just as yet, and Hayes there catches Automatic completely as a statue, as he did get flashed there and didn't really know what to expect after that, so not a whole lot he could have done there besides just hide behind the rock and hope he doesn't go for him. But CLG, after we do see that early aggression coming out from compLexity and it nets them a kill to Color, it gets quickly corrected back into CLG's favor, and they now sit a man up against them at this point, and Hayes adding another one onto the ticker there as he takes out Sempus, trying to work his way up there to take down Hayes. Hopefully a little off guard, but not going to be happening as they're now waiting for more aggression to come out, which at this point in a 2-on-4 definitely won't be happening, so it should be safe for CLG to push towards the site at this point.
Yeah, but there's no reason for them to rush. There's still 35 seconds left on the clock, and they're so far away, so they can actually just slow play this. Now, compLexity, these 2 remaining players, Valens and Roka, are sticking together. This is what I wanted to see last time, so they have the right read. They're going to gamble onto this A bomb site, and what this hit comes in, I mean, this is their best chance at winning it. Here come the Molotovs in the execution.
And pushing in now, Hayes not really getting any intel just yet. The slow peek comes out there from Roka. He's going to be able to find one. Valens gets the second. They're both revealed, and Roka chains up another one. And as well, JDM, a great hold from compLexity, and they just shut it down there. Great patient play, and CLG had no idea how to counter that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect play from compLexity. A nice crossfire setup, but a little bit disappointed in CLG. They had so much more utility to use. They only threw 1 Molotov and 1 flashbang and then hit the bomb site. There's so much more they could have done. It just seems like with the clock dwindling down, they didn't realize the utility they had left, and they get punished for it. So nicely done from compLexity. A little bit of a goof from CLG, but either way, a great chance to reset the economy. They rattled off 7th straight now, and compLexity cannot afford to drop around right now. And this is back to that fast B play.
And here we go again. Molly's going to hold them up for a couple extra seconds, but still definitely, as you said, committing to this at this point. However, take a look at Semphis in a great flanking position right now, and nobody else on the flank inside of lower tunnels, so the second they move anybody from construction to that site, they're going to get caught. Roka also finding the opener, and there's Semphis picking up another one there, now using that hop from inside connector, and Roka jumped up on top here behind the plant area. In addition to Semphis picking up FNS back over there, it just gets completely shut down as compLexity with that absolutely murderous setup here on the B site do not give CLG anything at all in that round.
Yeah, that's the difference in how that defense worked out, is they're able to get those early kills. They manage the early aggression towards that bomb site. They hold strong. Roka gets a kill. Semphis gets a kill. And from there, no one overextends. They let CLG enter into the bomb site. That's a defense that we haven't really seen on this bomb site, you know, in previous times when CLG's hit it. So nice adjustment made by compLexity. Now they have their 4th round. They forced a save out of CLG, and they can, you know, close the gap a little bit.
We'll see another aggressive round here coming out of the hands of compLexity too. They smoke themselves off here, so they're not actually going to continue pushing through at this point, but still taking up those forward positions. It does go further towards more what we would expect from a default at that point, but Semphis again on top of the flower pot, finding one, trying to connect the second, but troubles with that one, and now, after that push has come out, it's time to fall back. Sanks, in the meantime, going to be able to do a little bit more work here too, and Semphis continuing to take these pot shots here, and finds 2 more there too, so he gets a big round, 3 kills for him, and it leaves it all in the hands of FNS at this point, at which won't be expecting too much, although he does find one, but there's Sanks waiting for him at the top of the steps to close it out for compLexity once again, and now we see that here, compLexity with a very solid defense. Took them a while to get it going here, but now they seem to have their wits about them and have been shutting down these 3 rounds in a row, and pretty consistently too.
Yeah, but back onto weapons, and as well, JDM's going to have that AVP, so it'll be interesting if he's going to try and challenge Semphis over at the A bomb site, if they're going to call something more towards the B bomb site. I'd like to see them just take control of bathrooms early on, very, very quickly, and then just slow things down from there, see what they can find out of that. But they're going to go back towards their default, where JDM's just going to watch for a push up towards Party and towards Fountain. 2 players down into the sewers for the doorway, and 2 players over towards Short.
Cutler again looking for those jumps to come out there from compLexity over on the B site. Won't be able to catch anybody, although he does spot one of the players there. However, again, CLG very, very slow in their movement here, very slow to move about the map because of this aggression that we have been seeing from compLexity so far throughout this entire half. The only player that's really going for it this round, though, as we actually speak of that, is Sanks at this point, but to be honest, he's actually in a pretty preserved position right now, just trying to get the smokes. He was pushed up a little bit further a few seconds ago, but he gets hit with a flash now, and as we see the rest of CLG, they're actually going to regroup here, and although it did look like they wanted to go down connector and then into B again, now with everybody routing their way back over into the tunnels and then outside here into the park, it's been switched up, and now they're going to be going for an A push, but they'll keep FNS back here as well, just toss a couple nades onto the site and try to keep players that are there over there and hopefully get a fake rotation or 2 there as well.
Yeah, they've hit this B bomb site so much, now they're switching it back towards A, so compLexity might be found out a little bit, but there's Semphis with a nice kill over towards long, equalized by Hayes, who takes down Sanks. Now it's just Semphis. He's got to hold out for some time. Actually, Automatic has rotated over very quickly, even Valence is here now, so a pretty solid defense, but compLexity can't really fall back. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to move forward and hit this site, and they don't have very many utilities to do it.
They're going to go for this right now. Smoke comes out back over here on T, steps up onto the A site, and or apologies, CT steps up onto the A site. Automatic does have a little bit of room to work through with that, but he would have to overexpose himself.
Oh my god, that one shot by FNS has caused a full rotation. There's no one in the A site. What is compLexity doing? How do they bite that hard on this fake? That's a free bomb site for CLG. This should not have happened.
And now they're going to rotate all the way back up. Semphis, though, opening the gates once again as he takes down Hayes, but we also see here now that CLG should get a pretty good idea of where this retake is going to be coming from as they've all rotated back down to B, as you just said. Valen's going back up too. He's got a small angle on Turk, but it's Semphis that closes out the kill to him. Finds another one as he takes down FNS. Valen's pushing forward to force JDM out so they can just get this defuse, and they should be able to get it without too much trouble here as Automatic finally takes down JDM, and although, again, as you said, they made that big mistake on over-rotating, thankfully they were able to keep everybody alive for the retake, and that went very, very clean, especially with the assistance coming in there from Semphis being a monster with the op once again.
Yeah, they're very, very fortunate, but I mean, that wasn't even a fake. That was just FNS trying to pick off a rotator. He takes three shots. I guess because the clock was dwindling down so low, compLexity just felt a little bit more pressure, but basically 3 fired bullets at the B bomb site caused a full evacuation of A, and that almost gave the round up.
CLG again splitting themselves up a little bit more this time, of course, but there will be a small battle happening inside Connector itself. Smoke's coming out from both ways. Automatic going to push up here. Neither can find each other. Actually, Automatic lining up the shot. Roka, too, goes for that same overpeak that he's looked for quite a few times, and inside Connector itself, as FNS and Automatic are running into each other. They didn't realize it until their flashes faded, but it looks like FNS will come out on top of that one. Valens again, though, picking up 2 for himself as he gets a nice double spray, so they managed to rally it back into their favor. JDM is going to be the last one alive with an AK. Kind of caught in a rock in a hard place right now, but he might find a way to wiggle out of it here.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful from JDM. This is a chance here, but he can't win that battle. Sanks is aware of it. If he gets that kill and he just bootlegs it over towards the A bomb site, he's got a free plant and a good chance at a 1-on-2, but nice awareness from Sanks, not letting his guard down. So 7-7 now after dropping 7 straight rounds. compLexity has evened things up, so a nice recovery from them, and last round of the half now, pretty weak buy out of CLG.
Yeah, no utility at all here, but overall, as you can see, only 2 flashes of smoke and a nade, mostly at the hands of JDM at this point, too, so basically they're just going to have to go, for the most part, go off fragment power.
B-rush, basically.
So they're going to go right for it here, working their way in, mainly through Monster. They'll split it up a little bit here just to try and get a little bit more of a dynamic play into this, but Roka along with Valens, they'll be the stars here from compLexity to try and defend this, and won't actually be an outright rush. They're going to hold back a little more, but that's only going to hurt them more than it helps them here now, because Valens is able to get that smoke. There's a little bit of room to see through, but I don't think anybody can actually utilize that unless they move into it. Roka and Hayes will trade blows there at the start, and moving through, Cutler actually catches Valens moving into the smoke. A little bit unfortunate that Valens was not able to pick up one of those there, as he had the stealth advantage at that point, but it's not going to pay off here. And once again, they managed to get into that site. They're going to be a man up, but that immediately gets destroyed by Sanks, who finds 1 kill. Automatic picking up a second, and once again the gaps continue to close. FNS takes a big hit, and Semphis switching over to the other gun to close it out over there on Hayes, or apologies, over on FNS, and now it just leaves Hayes as the last player alive, which Automatic and Sanks will double team that one too. compLexity will get the defuse off here, and they're going to take the advantage coming out of the first half. Very, very close, of course, as you mentioned. CLG taking it very, very strong in the early portions of it, but compLexity with a great round back there in the later portions and able to actually take the advantage here at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, CLG is going to be pretty upset that they let that slip away. 6 straight for compLexity there to close out the half. There were actually some good situations from CLG where they got the bomb planted, just some of the post-plant positioning was atrocious. Semphis had way too many picks on retakes. Just players caught out in the open, just easy picking for that AWP. Either way, 8-7. I mean, that's a despite everything that's just been said, that's a pretty decent half for CLG on the terror side of Overpass. So moving in, they still have the advantage in this matchup. It all remains to be seen how strong is the CT side going to come out.
If we look at it purely from a statistical perspective, it unfortunately would have been the better half there for compLexity. Thankfully, they were able to keep it close. But I mean, and again, we haven't really seen a whole lot of play as of yet on Overpass from compLexity, but from what we have seen, they were only sitting at about a 3% T-side win rate and a 47% CT win rate. So unfortunately, the stats aren't going to be too helpful here because, again, it lines up, but we just obviously, again, just if it continues to line up that way, then we'll have to see them come out in a big way here on the T side to come out, because that does appear to be their weaker side, just looking at it that way. But with the way they were playing in their earlier matchup, too, that could also kind of throw things off a little bit.
Yeah, CLG, I mean, they've had some good matches on this map. within the North American region. So, I mean, this is a map they're no slouches on. That T side, they had a heavy emphasis on that B bomb site. They really didn't touch that A site or find too much success over at it whatsoever. So that you could kind of see once complexity, I mean, stopped that B push. That T side out of CLG was very, very one dimensional. And that's kind of what allowed them to make that comeback at the end. But either way, here comes a fast B play from complexity. 3 players going over towards short, a 4th player as well, so they're going to slow down here. Valens has the utility. He's got the smoke, flash, nade. But that's all they have, basically.
They, again, take it very slowly here, just trying to see if they can catch anybody through the pallet. Won't be happening as of yet, as, again, they only end up revealing one of their players at least, and Hazed should have just seen everybody there on that jump, and he does, as Complexity is completely overexposed, so the rotations are going to come off here very early indeed. FNS also picking off one to start things off. Cutler moving in. He finds a second one here to close it out now, as that offensive just goes nowhere. They do manage to sneak in the plant, but it's not going to go anywhere beyond that. Automatic sitting inside of the smoke, trying to hide, but it doesn't pay off at all. Hazed catches him the second he moves outside of that. They will sneak through with the plan, which is a little bit of a victory for them, because if they can do a nice amount of damage coming up into this next round here, the third round bye they'll inevitably probably end up going for is going to be that much stronger. But if they can't do that, then it kind of gets tossed by the wayside, as all they'll get is a little bit of an earlier gun round in the play.
Yeah, I mean, FNS wins him that round. He stands at fire. The Molotov came right towards the ramp that he was standing in. He stands in the fire for a couple seconds and just gets a nice one tap, and then falls back and even gets one more kill as that take comes in. So he does a really, really good job of neutralizing the threat. Either way, like you said, this is where it gets scary, because Complexity had some great eco rounds against Enemy in the first matchup. If they can do some damage here, you're exactly right. That third round bye, much like CLG's, will be a lot more effective.
And to start it off here on the push from Complexity, they actually take the long A angle here, which is a little bit surprising considering what they're working with here. Might have wanted to go for the shorter battles, but they do decide to push their way up there. 4 players going for it, and Automatic, of course, comparatively to Roka, who was the lurker on the previous matchup, they're going to leave Automatic to do it, at least here on this eco round, as he tries to, at the very least, sell this fake back over here towards the B site, and if not that, at least keep the 2 players here from CLG in that B site at the moment, that being Hazed and FNS, but they're moving so slowly, all 4 of them at the moment, working their way up through long A. And Tarek, more than likely, will be the player to face check this first. He spots him out, gets about half the damage down on Oroka, but the big thing is that he spotted all these players push again, same as last round, so now they can get this early rotation off, and not only that, but most of them are up here to begin with, so it's going to be a pretty easy shutdown, I do believe, and won't be seeing Complexity go anywhere with that round. CLG shut it down with no trouble whatsoever, and nobody dying at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's the curious part. Like you said, why are they going towards long with these pistols? Like, Tarek has that M4. They had 2 M4s in that A-bomb site, such long range to have those pistols out. And they just kind of get mowed down as they enter into that choke point, all 4 of them. So, nice defense from CLG, no damage dealt, but the buy's going to come on anyways. They only have 1 smoke to work with, 4 flashbangs as well. So this is a pretty weak third round buy out of Complexity here. And look at the aggression from CLG. Tarek and one other player, they're pushing up towards long. That's JDM. They're getting real aggressive. Tarek might be able to pick one off, and he doesn't. He gets punished by Sanks. That's a good find. Now it's just JDM all isolated at this close rock. And what's he going to be able to do? Cephas comes around the corner, and he gets the kill out of JDM as well, so immediately a 5-on-3 for Complexity.
And they take a huge advantage of this one, already pushing up onto the A side here too. 2 on there. Hayes will have to try and hold as the pop flash comes out, but not going to work out the way he wants it to. The high one's going to move out here too, and just comboing the nades left and right. He's going to get blinded, so it does let Valens move in, but a nade to the face onto Valens there, along with that damage coming in for Cutler, is going to be able to shut him down. Semphis, though, with a nice headshot, though, on the way into the A site, finds one, and FNS there, not able to pick up exactly what he needs, so Automatic is going to be able to turn that right back around and find him. Cutler gets one more pickup there before he eventually gets taken down by Automatic. At the end of it, Complexity once again will come out on top of that round due to the earlier kills that they managed to get back over by long.
Yeah, I mean, that push from CLG's got to be much more effective. They've basically lost the round at that point. So much time for Complexity to basically do whatever they want. And just Tarek getting dropped immediately. He's having a little bit of a rough game, actually. 9 and 11. He's been playing so well for them recently, but he's off to a slow start here at the bottom of the scoreboard. And they might actually, they're going to need him to step it up if they want to take this game. Him and JDM. JDM's right down there as well, 10 and 9. Those are basically their 2-star players that get massive amounts of frags for him, and they're both playing very, very poorly.
Finesse is going to once again get this early spot here, but can't hold it very well at all with just the absolutely zero investment he's had going into this round. Sanks will take him down. Now they're pushing up to the site, but Hayes holding stalwartly. He's able to pick up another kill there with the Deagle. Takes down Sanks, so we'll get the trade at least. Unfortunately, though, with the kill that already happened earlier on to FNS, they'll still be a man up at this point. And Automatic watching the flank too. Might be able to catch at least one, but no, Tarek consistent there with the P250, and Automatic a little bit messy with his spray. They're going to be able to find one of them with that. And Valen's here too, looking for that push to come outside of heaven. Won't be happening, but already in a very good position to counter out the eventual push that we'll see from CLG. So not really expecting too good on the retake from them. JDM may be able to catch something out here with this AK, but now comes Semphis with a surprise moving over there. Huge flank coming around from Monster, taking out 2, and now any attempt that they would have been able to make here for this retake has pretty much been nullified, and Cutler just looking for exits through connector, through construction, I should say, at this point.
Yeah, it's a nice play from Semphis to make sure they can't get any more damage done and can't save that AK-47. So Cutler's just got to bail. He's not going to find anything. 2 kills, not bad. Keeping the economy a little bit low, but now CLG's going to buy, and they're going to have to start putting some work in on these gun rounds. compLexity's grabbed the lead one more time at 10-9. And still, no, actually, this is where the AWP gets brought out. So JDM does just have enough money to buy the AWP and the light armor with no helmet. So, I mean, this is where he gets a little bit dangerous. He struggles at times when he can't afford that AWP in his hands. That's why at times you see CLG just saving rather than buy up, because he's such a force with it. But outside of that AWP, his rifles are a little bit weaker. Now a heavy play over towards the B bomb site. They know the utilities are low. They know there's going to be no Molotovs out towards Monster. And they're just going to push aggressively. FNS gets into the duel. Him and Cutler win the first one. Now they've got to fall back and stay alive as long as possible. But FNS gets isolated at toxic boxes and forced out by the Molotov. This is a great B take so far by compLexity.
And everybody else rotating in with the exception of Hayes at this point, but he's under fire here too. A lot of Hayes coming up, but they don't spot him, and Semphis way out in the open. Hayes is going to be able to steal a kill away from that one. Gets the intel on at least 2 out of the 3 remaining players here, and is going to be able to execute upon one of them too. Taking down Roka. Valen's finally picking up something else here for compLexity, but Hayes moving up there, and Valen's actually finding a second too. Not going to be able to punish him in time. Hayes doesn't want to take the risk on overexposing himself there. Tries to get the adjustment in time, but not going to happen as they both push up, and compLexity will be able to steal that round away. The retake was looking good for a time, but once again, the action that had happened earlier in the round pretty much made up for that little bit of an issue there, and managed to solidify things for compLexity later on in the round to bring it up to 9-11 now as they take the lead in the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, Hayes bails him out with a couple nice kills, slows that hit down, I mean, puts him in a 3-on-2 situation. Just from there, the rotations are so ineffective. They just get punished. One player coming up short eliminates both of them, and Hayes is just kind of wondering where all of his teammates fell. So a very aggressive B take by compLexity. Now it forces another save out of CLG. This is looking really, really good for COL.
And compLexity again now, splitting themselves up. Trying to see if there's going to be any aggression now, just because of the fact that CLG are going to be on an eco, and they might try to get a little bit bold off of this. It's actually happening through lower tunnels right now, and I don't believe compLexity are going to be expecting that. The problem, of course, is now what we're seeing here from the bomb carrier is he could actually get caught out, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now they've got the bomb on the floor, and if they can get others to support that and hold that for the time being, then they could actually do a lot of damage. However, Semphis now picking up another one, and for some reason FNS is blind there. Doesn't actually see Automatic sitting over there in that corner, and he's not only going to pick up FNS, but he finds Tarek too, so a huge getaway there, as that should have been an easy kill for FNS, but he gets caught completely off guard by that, and now CLG's been reduced to nothing again.
Yeah, this is tough. Cutler's rotating back over towards the A bomb site. He does have that CZ. Automatic's the one who's so far away. No damage in him really falling, and Cutler can't spot Roko. Just pops his head up and gets a free kill. Hayes still sticking around this B bomb site. But really, yeah, there's just not much for anything from CLG to do in this round, so it's going to be another win for compLexity, 12-9 now.
Hayes is just honestly at this point looking to run and maybe line himself up for a nice shot or two. He was in a good position to maybe find Automatic, but I don't think he realized just how close he was to him. Obviously, again, he doesn't have X-rays, so can't really realize that. But now he's actually going to find this AK. So if he can stay alive, then it's going to be good. Unfortunately, rounding this corner in a second, going to be right behind him is Automatic, and that kills the dreams of saving that one as he's way out in the open. So they take him down. They win the round there just by taking him out. No saves once again for CLG. And heading into this one, they'll be able to get their buy anyway, but still wouldn't have hurt to have that extra AK, as it would have not really had you buy that full rifle and could have saved quite a bit of cash had you not had to do that.
Yeah, no, they would have loved to have that as well. They probably would have loved to have some more damage out. This bank now on compLexity is pretty strong, so it's getting really scary coming into the end of this matchup now. compLexity with 12 rounds, and really it's JDM hasn't been able to get into the game with this AWP. They haven't really come towards him, so he has no effect in the early portions. And then look, I mean, this is just Hayes just falling. There's no response. There's no coordinated aggression. That's a nice kill from Sanks.
And based off of this here too now, compLexity just going to hang back, wait to see if there's any response, but as you said, there's no response at all here from CLG at this point, so they're going to be able to get a free kill off of that one, and in a few moments here, I'm sure they're going to execute another one getting away for free there too. Automatic is going to be able to steal a kill. He takes down Tarek, and already here, Two of the bigger players here from CLG are faltering. They're going to try to find it, but FNS again looking the complete wrong way. Roka's going to be able to steal a kill onto him, and this has been three essentially free kills being gained here by the compLexity players. We've seen no response from CLG onto any of them, and Cutler and JDM, I highly doubt are even going to attempt this. Cutler almost gets caught off guard too, and to be completely honest, at the end of that, he kind of did. So Automatic getting another one on the flank there. He takes down Cutler, and it's just JDM on the run now.
Yeah, he has to save this op. I mean, this op is really their only chance at coming back into this, because CLG's just getting beaten up and down the server at the moment. They're losing every early battle, and from there, compLexity, I mean, you can see once compLexity's aggression, just they keep up the pace, they keep swinging wide into these bomb sites, and the defense is so thin. You see FNS trying to hold whatever he can, trying to push up catwalk, but the timing just doesn't work in his favor.
So compLexity getting themselves armed to possibly steal away the second victory and get a little bit of an upset going here to start things off. They're only 3 rounds away from doing it here, and we are going to see another buy-up coming up at the hands of CLG as they have it on that full losing bonus for some time now. It's going to be somewhat limited, though, as we already said here, not really able to pick up anything else with the exception of that saved op. Thankfully, JDM managed to keep himself alive at the end of that previous round, so they're still looking good with that, but for everybody else, it's FAMAS's. And thankfully, because they did that and some players didn't choose to go for the M4, they can get up still a pretty decent amount of utility going here, but it's not the full stack that they've been looking for. And unfortunately, that could hinder them if they give them the site earlier on. However, JDM there, though, with the wide open peak, they're able to find Valens early on, but now Automatic comes and drops JDM. Thankfully, Tarek gets the trade, though, and for the time being, CLG will maintain the advantage due to that.
And this is crucial. They have to maintain this round. No kits. They can't really let the plants come in. Roka might beat the smoke. He does. He walks right through it, but he makes a footstep. Cutler eliminates him off the map, so now into a 4-on-2, and it's Cephalus and Sanks are so far, like, you can't get more farther away from each other than they currently are right now. Different ends of the map. Bombs over towards A. That's what Cephalus with the AWP at long, and he's going to have to fall back. Takes one shot, but there's a nice kill from Sanks. That weakens the defense a little bit. Tarek's going to get aggressive, but on this rotate, someone's going to have to bail out Cutler. He's got to at least stay alive in the water pit, and if compLexity can eliminate him fast enough from this B bomb set, it's a free plant and a really good chance at holding the retake.
And now we're going to see... And now we're going to see here, too, that Cutler... Taking a look at what they're working with here, too.
It's so much. They're staying so far apart. They're not coming together. Look at... Cephalus hasn't even come down these stairs quite yet. Finally, there's only 20 seconds left, though, and there's Sanks taking out Cutler. Hayes is now rotated over. But Sanks is doing work, and this plant's going to go down. And Cephalus and Sanks, they have a lot of utility to work with. Molotov to hold him back. Sanks is going to watch the upper passageway. He's going to get one more kill. A huge round for...
And Semphis is going to steal away that last shot there. A big round win for compLexity that absolutely should not have happened. A huge takeaway from them, and now this is going to break the economy here from CLG. And my game crashed. So, is Moses here, by the way, or did he...
I came back.
You're back? Okay.
I am back.
You were robot-y here. I don't know if that was me or you, but...
Yeah, my internet crashed for about 3 seconds at LA, so that makes a lot of sense.
It's cool. My client crashed too, so it's
a
very smooth night.
All sorts of issue. It's a tactical pause, so it's not a big deal. Obviously, as CLG just talks over how to win 4-on-2s, they're gonna have to figure some things out.
And obviously, again, that round was a little bit shaky because we had some trouble following that with the client crashing and the internet going out on this. But compLexity with a huge victory there too. Semphis finding that very nice op shot to close it out, but. Now again, a huge upset, and I mean, just look at the money now here too for compLexity because of how many rounds they've gotten away with and just how clean some of these have been. Round 6 and 7, they stayed alive with 4 and 5 players. That last one they make it out of it with 2, granted, so it's a little bit weaker, but even so, they've got so much cash stacked up now. Semphis has been an absolute juggernaut here. He's barely gone down at all this half, sitting at 15.7k. It probably was maxed out actually at the beginning of this one, and as well, Automatic sitting at 10k. He had about 1,500 at the start. Plenty more of them were floating around 10k or 8k at least there too, so they just have so much money stacked up right now, and it's going to take so much work from CLG. To be completely honest, I don't think they can actually break it, because by the time they empty out the bank account here from compLexity, they're probably going to be on enough of a losing bonus to just buy up anyway.
They have to buy now if they want to win this match. I mean, you can't expect to rattle off 6 straight after the performances you've had. You haven't won a rifle round yet in the second half if you're CLG, so that's depressing. And I mean, once you lose a 4-on-2, it's just like, all right, guys, what the hell? And now look at this. 4 FAMASes out on the board, but JDM has the glass cannon AWP. They're going to get aggressive everywhere. FNS is going to push short. They also have players coming out of the door. And 4 players from compLexity lined up outside this B bomb site waiting for any kind of push.
Just being very, very cautious right now. Roka trying to see. They're going to get that flash over there through Monster. Not a big reaction to that coming out from CLG yet, but Tarek is going to move outside the door. Roka definitely going to be the key player here with the current positions from CLG's roster at this point, but Tarek's going to move actually back into the site, circumvent the side tunnel here, and as for Valence too, he's keeping his eyes out, trying to see if he can catch anything, but the rest of CLG just kind of has this square block moving around right now. JDM watching out for a push to come through Park. He might catch automatic in the process, but it's all in an attempt to just sell things over here as the push is going to come towards B regardless, and they're just taking their jolly old time, and we just saw their two Semphis picking up another nice frag, able to drop FNS as he's caught wide out in the open once again. There's another one there too, automatic doing that flank work that we were just talking about. He's now found Hayes in a 5-on-3, technically a 4-on-3 on the site itself, but they should still easily be able to go for this take.
Yeah, you'd think so. When you Tarek grabs the first one, and now he's going to swing out. He's going to find two more. Nicely done from Tarek. They lined up for him. The damage that Cutler did bails him out. JDM picks up one as well. This is a perfect round to stop. I mean, this is a 3-on-5 now, so it's just up to Valence. He's over towards short. He's in the water, in the sewers. He's going to go up against JDM's op, and if he can find this could be a useful pop flash. And it is. The shot misses, and he's got to hunt this down, jumping around the corner, but JDM cleans it up anyway, so nicely done. That's the 10th round for CLG. A little bit of life left in him.
And clearly that pause has worked for CLG as they're going to manage to swing that one out after such a brutal start.
That pause did not work for CLG. They got beat up once again in the early stages of the round in a 3-on-5. They're very fortunate to come out with that.
So they get, I'll correct myself, they get lucky towards the end of the second half and being so fortunate as to shut it down. Tarek, of course, being the MVP, they're finding that triple kill spray that he managed to pull off over there, helping to pull in order to get that one. And as for compLexity now, still, of course, as we talked about while we were still on the pause, they've got plenty of cash left in the bank here, so they're just going to be able to resume their buys, no problem. They take it much slower this time, but it is more of a solid push over towards A, where previously, for the most part, they had been favoring those B pushes, similarly to CLG on their T half.
Yeah, and this is a huge aggression from compLexity out towards long. No one from CLG is over there even watching that, but they're going to fall back from bathrooms now. Tarek's going to play close up. Even though they have the op of JDM, he's not going to be on that side, so they pop flash, and Tarek just swings wide but doesn't see anything. So this hit is still, CLG still doesn't know it's coming, and they've got to be very, very careful. If Semphis is able to get in a position with that op, he can punish anyone peeking, and you can see JDM actually jumping over the APC, I believe it is.
And they'll push through now. A lot of flashes coming out from both sides here, but Sank saves Valence's life there, is able to take down Cutler. They spot JDM over here by Semi now, and they're going to try to push their way back into the site. Rotations coming out at the hands of CLG, but to be completely honest, a lot of them are already here or very close to being on that site. There's JDM picking up one more, able to drop down on Sanks here. Automatic as well. He's going to get decked, but now Roka finds a way in. He takes down Tarek in a 3-on-3 situation. They manage to keep it even. Valence puts it back into their control. Both remaining are trying to push out towards Bank. They get smoked with his pop flash coming out from Valence too. He's trying to find that spray, and now it's just in the hands of Hayes now. Wrapping around, he knows where both players should be, generally speaking. Moving out is not going to be able to take down Hayes, unfortunately, so compLexity steal away the round once again, and they're not going to be on match point here against CLG.
Yeah, a heartbreaking round to lose if you're CLG, because now your economy's reset going forward. compLexity with just a standard A-take, and the trades all work out in their favor, so CLG now only have pistols to really combat the onslaught of compLexity, and like you said, there's still so much money behind this, so no matter how many rounds they lose, I mean, they're still going to have money. This is insane. So CLG in a very, very tough spot.
And at this point here with CLG, with that broken money situation, they're just going to go right for the push once again here. Two over inside connector. Probably going to meet the first bout of combat here as Valence moving in there. And Tarek, unfortunately, teammate getting in the way. He picks up one, but runs out of ammo there. So Automatic is going to be able to pick up not one, but two on both FNS and Tarek. They get an okay amount of info there as they find out where two of those players are and take one of them down. But beyond that, they still have absolutely no clue where this push is going to happen. JDM, though, nice and patient, finds one, but that too will get traded out by Sanks. They're still a man down at this point. Both are on the B side, and we see compLexity going to go for a much slower push over towards A. Hayes will rotate in to stop this, but he's just a lone man with a 5-7 working against an op and two AKs at this point. So the odds not looking too good, especially going up against Semphis here now too, and even Roka now coming in for the support. He's going to be able to steal the kill onto Hayes, and all the hopes and dreams of CLG at this point are pinned on Cutler, and it's not looking so good. He'll steal away Semphis here to take him down, but now he's wide out in the open. This peek comes out from Sanks, almost finding Sanks, but doesn't expect Roka to come out there from Semi side, so that's going to close it out there. And we will see compLexity going 2-0 for the night, stealing away not only their match versus enemy, but also their match versus CLG.
Yeah, that's a rough performance out of CLG. Not only as a team, but individually. I mean, you don't really want to call out individuals when you see a team performance like that. Tarek and JDM had a rough match. They're not really putting up too many numbers, but I mean, altogether, CLG's defense just looks sloppy, and that's one thing that since they switched over towards Cutler and since they have been much improved, their CT sides, their defense is the side that's looked their better one. So a little bit curious to see. So they're going to drop to 0-1, and I believe they have another match that they're going to have to recover for. Basically, right now is the next match we have coming up.
The next match is actually going to be the Liquid versus Conquest one.
So Method versus CLG is going to be the last match of the night.
So they've got a little bit of time to sit back and recuperate, figure out what happened there, and then get ready for their match versus Method, which will be happening at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But the next match coming up here on the stream, guys, and again, it should be happening in just a few minutes. There was another update, so it might be slightly delayed, but I imagine, considering we didn't have issues with the last one, we shouldn't have any problems with this one. The next match coming up here in just a few moments is going to be Conquest taking on Liquid. Stick around for it right here on ESEA TV, and we'll be right back with more of the ESEA ESL Pro League.